Joel David Rifkin is an American serial killer who was sentenced to 203 years in prison for the murders of 9 women between 1989 and 1993, though it is believed he killed as many as 17 people. Rifkin's birth parents were both young college students, and his biological father was an army veteran. On February 14, 1959, when he was 3 weeks old, Rifkin was adopted by an upper-middle-class couple living in Long Island. Rifkin performed poorly in school due to learning disabilities and was unpopular with classmates. He graduated from East Meadow High School in 1977, then attended classes at Nassau Community College, the State University of New York at Brockport, and the State University of New York at Farmingdale, but left before earning a degree. After leaving college, Rifkin became a self-employed landscaper. On February 20, 1987, his father, Bernard, committed suicide, overdosing after having suffered from prostate cancer for several months. On August 22, 1987, Rifkin was arrested during a sex worker sting in Hampstead, New York, after offering an undercover female police officer money for sex. Rifkin committed his first murder on February 28, 1989, killing Heidi Balch in his home in East Meadow. He then dismembered her body, removing her teeth and fingertips, putting her head in a paint can which he left in the woods on a golf course in Hopewell, New Jersey, disposing of her legs farther north and dumping her remaining torso and arms in the East River around New York City. On March 5, 1989, Balch's severed head was discovered on the 7th hole of the golf course. On April 8, 1989, Balch's legs were found in the Piquanac Creek near Jefferson Township, New Jersey. Her remains were not identified until 2013. It is assumed that Rifkin killed 16 more women during the next 4 years. He was implicated in Balch's murder after his arrest in 1993. Investigators determined in 2013 that Balch and the woman he described as his first victim were the same person. Rifkin picked up Tiffany Bersiani, a prostitute who was working on Allen Street in Manhattan on June 4, 1993. Bersiani was with her pimp and boyfriend, punk rock musician David Rubenstein. Bersiani told Rubenstein that she was going to be returning in 20 minutes. After Bersiani failed to return, Rubenstein called the police with the description of the 1984 Mazda pickup truck that Rifkin drove. Partially as a result of her death, Dave Rubenstein committed suicide by overdose less than 2 weeks later. On June 28, 1993, at 3:15 a.m., state troopers patrolling Long Island's Southern State Parkway noticed a 1984 Mazda B2000 pickup truck without a license plate. After indicating for the driver to pull over, he failed to stop and led the police on a 20 to 25 minute chase, ending after he lost control of the vehicle and crashed into a light pole. The driver was identified as Joel David Rifkin, and after searching the vehicle, the troopers found the body of Tiffany Bersiani wrapped in a tarp. He was found guilty of 9 counts of second-degree murder in 1994 and sentenced to 203 years up to life in prison. His known victims include Heidi Balch, 25, remains found in 1989. Julie Blackbird, remains never found. Barbara Jacobs, 31, remains found on July 14, 1991 in the Hudson River. Yun Lee, 31, remains found on September 23, 1991 in the East River off Randall's Island. Mary Ellen DeLuca, 22, remains found on October 1, 1991 in Cornwall, New York, identified on July 4, 1993. Number 6, never identified, remains never recovered. Number 9, never identified, found May 13, 1992 in a 55-gallon steel drum floating in Newtown Creek in Brooklyn. Ana Lopez, 33, remains found on May 25, 1992 in Patterson, New York. Violet O'Neill remains found in July 1992 in the Harlem River near Governor's Island, identified in September 1983. Marianne Holloman, 39, remains found in July 9, 1992 in Coney Island Creek. Lorraine Orvieto, 28, remains found in July 11, 1992 in Coney Island Creek, Brooklyn, New York, identified on July 4, 1993. Jenny Soto, 23, remains found on November 17, 1992 on the shores of Harlem River in the South Bronx. Mary Catherine Williams, 31, remains found on December 21, 1992 in Yorktown, New York, identified on July 6, 1993. Lee Evans, 28, remains found on May 9, 1993 in Northampton, Suffolk County, New York. Iris Sanchez, 25, remains found in June 29, 1993 near John F. Kennedy Airport, Queens, New York. Lorraine Marquez, 28, remains found in July 29, 1993 in Long Island Central Pine Barrens in Suffolk County, New York, identified on August 21, 1993. And Tiffany Barciani, 22, body found on June 28, 1993 on the floor of Rifkin's pickup truck in Manhattan, New York. Prison officials decided in 1996 that Rifkin was so notorious that his presence in the general prison population could be disruptive. He was confined to his cell at the Attica Correctional Facility for 23 hours per day. He spent more than 4 years in solitary confinement, then was transferred to the Clinton Correctional Facility in Clinton County, New York. Rifkin sued, arguing that his solitary imprisonment was unconstitutional. In 2000, a state appellate court determined that prison officials had not violated his constitutional rights by housing him in isolation. Corrections officials said that Rifkin was imprisoned with more than 200 other inmates at Clinton who were not allowed into the general prison population. It was initially speculated that Rifkin could be responsible for the Gilgo Beach serial killings. However, Rifkin denied any involvement with the case, and the timeline of discovery did not match when Rifkin was active. In 2023, Rex Heuermann, an architect from Massapequa Park, was arrested and charged with the murder of several women found in Gilgo Beach. If you like that, then check out our Patreon, where for just $5 a month you get access to exclusive shows like Real Monsters and Playing with Bones with Amy Rose, along with early access to all our minisodes and ad-free access to the Weekend Update and It's Alive Alive! Not convinced yet? Well, head on over now and have 7 days on us. That's a 7-day free trial for all new members. That's It's Alive Alive Pod on Patreon. It's Alive Alive! All the guts and gore with none of the guilt. See you on Wednesdays, unless you're on Patreon when you get us all week long.